Coleman, just what's the key to gutting out a game like that doesn't seem to be going your way and maybe isn't the prettiest at all times?
I'd say defense and rebounding. As long as you can get stops, if the ball's not going in, the energy develops on defense when you're getting stops, and then you'll eventually see the ball go in. Then late game free throws as well is a big part. You gotta gut up and make free throws down the stretch, and that's what we did tonight. So.
Question for either of you guys. So, Draven, you guys talk about a lot about his practice and how he, scores really well. Can you talk about just his mindset of just draining that big shot tonight?
I'm sure he's fearless. I'm sure he's been waiting on his moment. But that comes with being a freshman. So no, he's fearless though. So he went out there and got his opportunity and hit a big shot for us, gave us a boost. So. No, he's fearless, so salute to him.
Yes, for both of you. But Coleman, you mentioned just leaning on defense and rebounding. How do you not let maybe a rough night offensively kind of trickle over onto that side of the ball?
I think it's just like the effort, like trying to control what you could control, like. I mean, obviously for me, like my shots weren't going in, but I tried to just stay focused mentally and lock in on my assignment. I was trying to be down there and help people and fight the post and do as much as I can and just have attention to detail, really, because we can control what we do on defense. So.
Luke, is there something they were doing defensively that made life a little tougher for you guys on offense, or is it just a matter of you guys missing shots? What did you see there?
Yeah, I thought we got great shots in the first half. We started out kind of slow. But we were getting good looks. Even myself, I started off 0 for 3 on wide open shots that I usually make. So I think, when we get looks like that, it's just you just got to play good defense. If shots aren't falling, that usually do fall. And IU threw a little bit different of a package at us. They brought the double from the low side sometimes, so we had to adjust to that, cutting different guys, sliding to different areas, and we kind of got used to that throughout the game. But, they're a good team. They got good players, good defensive players, and, they were able to throw us off a little bit, but throughout the game we were able to figure it out.
For both of you, where would you say this team is at mentally right now, with all that the team has gone through with Terrence and a couple of Big Ten losses, Maryland, Northwestern? Would you say you're in a good place mentally?
Yeah, I think we're great. Everybody in the locker room is here for the right purpose, and we're ready. We're ready for what we have ahead of us. It's been a long stretch in January, 9 games in January. We've been going 2-day prep into a game and 1-day prep into travel into a game, and we've been doing that now for 20 days. So we got a lot of guys in the locker room that are prepared to take on that challenge, and a lot of guys that are out there for each other and for the right reasons. So I'm excited to keep going.
I think the team is just it's a long stretch. So obviously the team's gonna get a little tired, but we come out and compete every day at practice. Although we're tired, and we know we got to do it. Give our best every game too, because every win counts. So does every loss. So we try to just go out and compete as hard as we can, and everyone's mentally locked in and focused on that one common goal.
As Coleman, when Luke is hitting 3-pointers like he has been over the last month or so, what does that do for you guys offensively, and how big of a momentum turn can some of those threes be?
It's big time. It gets the crowd going, it gets him going, it makes the other team, think about what kind of package they're in. If they can, heavy help like they were tonight, change some lineups around. It affects all of us really when Luke's seeing the ball go in, giving him confidence. I trust Luke every time he shoots the ball, it helps us out a lot for sure.
Luke, for the wings, defensively, was this just a tough kind of unique prep in the sense that you could leave your guy a little bit more, especially if they threw it in the post, than you normally would?
Yeah, that's a great question, actually, because I think we needed to come off of our guys a little bit more. One of the big things at halftime was Coach keeps saying how Coleman's every night kind of overmatched in terms of weight, just straight up weight. I mean, he's giving up 30 to 40 pounds a night against, bigger guys. So we have to be better at helping him. I think you see the numbers that opposing bigs have, and you can kind of tend to blame Coleman, but it's not him at all. It's all the other guys, and that's kind of what we've been talking about in the locker room and what we have to get figured out. And credit to them, they got downhill. They were able to make some tough shots. I thought, they got downhill and hit a couple tough ones, and that's credit to them. But like I said, we need to be better with the scout and help out Coleman more because he's fighting down there for 30 to 40 minutes a game against guys that are bigger.
Yeah, for Luke, you mentioned you missed your first 3 open shots, then you got in a rhythm with some contested shots. As a shooter, how do you work through that? I mean, is it just next shot up is going down, or is there any mindset like, well, I'm too open, so you think about it, or it's just?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. My worth on this team is being able to guard and rebound, but hit shots. That's really my worst. So every single day I put in shots before practice, make sure I get in my routine, do extra shots before shoot around, and that I mentally know now that I can take those shots, and I prepare myself enough for moments like that and shots like that. So if the first 3 don't go in, if the first 10 don't go in, I'm going to be ready to shoot those next shots.
This is for both of you guys. Coleman, maybe you could start. Just Terrence came up with some clutch free throws, rebounds late. What's the key to reintegrating him and getting him comfortable offensively back in the fold?
I think just being patient. I think tonight, and not just him, I think we just kind of we're trying to rush into things, just quickly drive the ball, just try to, we're too sped up, I think. So I think it's just slowing down, letting offense come naturally to us. I think that's a big thing for him as well. And then, getting those stops, because when we get out in transition, we pitch the ball ahead to him. It's either a foul or a layup. So for him, I'd say locking people down, focusing on defense, and we get those stops. And, he's an elite defender. But I think right now he's not necessarily struggling, but he's obviously, he hasn't been guarding and doing movement for a month now. So, he has to work his way back to becoming that elite defender as well. So.
Yeah, and good. Yeah, and I did it last year. It's really tough to be out of Big Ten play and come back and have to play. We're a little bit different in the sense of what we do. So he's got to get his feet back under him. But we as teammates know what he's capable of. He was an All-American and still is All-American talent, and we know what he means to our team. So having him back, getting his feet under himself, and us giving him the confidence that he needs to be able to shine is what we're going to continue to do. And I have no doubt that he's going to get back into it and really start to shine.
Luke, the driving layup, and you got fouled on that play. It seemed like it took Indiana by surprise a little bit. Does it show you and maybe future opponents that you can be a little bit more than a spot-up shooter?
Yeah. Something I've tried to integrate into my game this year is the pump fake sidestep 3, and I've done that a lot this year. And today I saw the lane wide open, and I don't usually do it, but I drove the ball and finished. And I looked over at Tyler Underwood and had some choice words for him because he gets mad at me in practice any time I dribble the ball. So that was kind of a funny part in the game. So.
Coleman, you were just kind of looking at Luke when he is that a part of his game that you're familiar with? Or are you not familiar with that?
I'm just messing with him now. Luke can score the ball very well. He just kind of moves a little slow. He's just a little stiff. But I've seen Luke score at all levels. He obviously he has to make sacrifices and play within our offense. But I play in open gym and stuff like that. I've seen Luke score in multiple ways. So I'm just messing with him.
Luke, can you speak to kind of how your mentality or pregame routine kind of changes now, being the first guy off the bench instead of starting? Does it change at all for you?
Yeah, just a little bit in terms of minute distribution, I would say. With Terrence back, he's playing big minutes, and that kind of brought mine down, which I understand. That's, what I'm here for. I'm ready to make those adjustments. And, it's the same mindset, though. I get ready before the game the same exact way, have my pregame routine the same exact way. And, it's all mental. You got to be ready to go whenever your name is called. When I was starting for that period of time, it was the same preparation, the same mindset. Next shot's going in. I'm gonna get up and do my routine every day and do all the things I need to do to be successful, and it's the same thing now. So just being ready to go every day, regardless of the situation that I'm in, and kind of how much I'm playing and what I need to do. Especially coming off the bench. I think bench contributors are one of the biggest things, one of the biggest difference makers, and we have a bunch of guys that can come in and make a difference. Dre today, Dane had some good minutes today. Nico has been good when he's been in, and Justin can be special. So just having that off the bench, I think, is huge.
Luke, you said earlier in the week that your brother was going to be here, guy who goes to IU, and some of his friends. You got anything to say to those guys, and how'd that one feel?
Yeah, I'm going to save the trash talk for personal between us, but through our text messages, but I'm going to go out and give him a tough time. My brother brought friends today, and I told him no IU gear in the family section, so that was one of the big things. But to get a win against IU, especially a home state team, is it's special. It means a little bit more every year, so it's good to get a win.
Well, we went from a probably more eye-pleasing loss at Northwestern from a fan standpoint and probably y'all's standpoint, and to a very, very ugly W. And really proud of our guys because you have to win these games. You have to find a way. And they had a unique, I think, day. If you want to talk analytics, possible points. Derek, what's it called? Points possible. That's it. If you total up all the field goals, all the threes, all the free throws in the game, we're plus 34. That probably means we didn't have great offense, but when you don't shoot threes and make them, they were 0 for. It's one of our big philosophical deals. It becomes very hard to win. I think they had 2 shots outside of 10 feet maybe that they made. In a game that we didn't shoot the ball particularly well, and we didn't guard very well, to be very honest, at times. So Luke Goode, huge day. Elite. His rip drive baseline was something that'll go on the film at the end of the year. But he made threes. He got some good looks. Justin was plus 24. I thought his shot, obviously, at the end was a big one. And then I thought that in a lot of ways we got Terrence going a little bit at the end. 6 rebounds. We haven't had a lot of practice time with him. He's holding the ball too much. I actually set him for a long period of time today. But I felt really good about the way he finished the game. I ran a little play for him at the end of the game, isolation to get fouled. And then Quincy was a little off today. And, Luke was playing great, and it's a nice luxury to have that. And, I thought Marcus is he was our Luka, so to speak. He's doing just about everything, and was a rock again. And 10 rebounds is a big day for him. And when you tell your guards to rebound, he literally takes it to personal and goes and does that. So, but ugly win, and give Indiana a lot of credit. I thought they played extremely hard on the defensive side and had something to do with us missing shots, but we'll sure take it today.
Brett, you seem to get a lot of offensive rebounds, a big part of what you do, but it seemed to be in spurts today. When you made your runs, you were attacking the offensive glass, and other times guys were just standing and watching. How do you get them to do that for 40 minutes?
Practice. Put them on the treadmill. It's just one of those deals. We emphasize it. We work on it. We have a drill we do every single day. I think it shows our aggressiveness. I thought our aggressiveness today guarding the basketball was as bad as we've had. I just thought we were passive today, but we did turn it up at times, and it obviously was. Draven Gibbs hit a big 3. Coleman got a big tip in and one. We can't be selective when we go. If we're starting to do that, then we're setting ourselves up.
Brett, I know you wanted him to rebound more, and Terrence got those at the end, hits his free throws. But what'd you see before that? Like, how do you feel like he's acclimating back? Because Luke
Slowly.
Yeah.
To being very honest, slowly. But I thought it's really hard. You guys have no idea who never played. It's so hard you can't be out a month. And it's so hard. And we were the flow offensively, we've got to find. We've got to have a great dummy day here the next day or two where he's not holding the ball. Terrence, when he's effective, is driving it. That sets up his three. And we're holding the ball too long. We're just holding the ball. He's holding it too much. And we've got to help him there. We got to help. But I felt like late, he was emotionally in the right place, and that's the most important thing. I thought he was tough. He wanted the ball. He wanted to make free throws, and that was good.
Coleman talked about maybe just leaning into defense and rebounding when the offense is not what you want. But what's the challenge in not letting maybe shots not falling trickle into the other
it's
side?
mental. We all have feel good moments, right? You guys all write about the guy who scores, right? It's the lead is big. Damask was double leads. Am I calling the title right? It's all about scoring. No one's going to lead the fact that somebody's had 5 steals. I haven't seen that column yet. So it's a feel-good thing for them when they make a basket and the crowd cheers and everybody goes up. It's not like that on the defensive side. Defense is guts and grit and fight and all the nasty stuff that nobody wants to talk about. And we've had that most of the year, and we had it at times today. But that's got to become that's our standard. That's who we are, and we got to start doing that. But we're in the middle of 16 days in a row.
Coach, correct me if I'm wrong. It seemed like the plan on Renault was to dig with the wings and the guards on him. Did they execute that the way you wanted? And was there consideration to doubling him?
No, we won because we didn't give him threes. And Baco's leading the league in threes, 3-point percentage. And what we wanted to do was give him different looks. And Coleman's really, really good. He got up 12 attempts. That's it, 12. And we're really good with that. Where I didn't think we did a very good job today was when he did miss. We gave up some second chance opportunities. So the game is imperfect. You're going to give up something. These guys are really, really good players, and so you play the percentages, you play the odds, and that's what our stuff's based on. Yes.
Brad, Ty was really effective in the first half. Only got 5 minutes in the second half. Is that kind of like you said? Justin Harmon was plus 24. You're trying to work TJ back into it, or is some combination?
We set him a long time. We set TJ a long time as well. And again, it's a feel thing. Justin was being effective. He was creating some havoc on the defensive side. Luke was playing really, really good. We had a combination of guys out there that caused them some problems on the defensive side because of spacing. And again, I guess that's a nice thing of having some depth. I love what Ty's doing. And probably had an opportunity to go back to him a little bit early and give Marcus a blow. But, again, there was some ebb and flow and timeouts that I felt pretty good about Marcus.
Brad, how do you balance the scouting report initially with what a team is doing on a current day or night? Like Indiana goes 0 for 9 from 3, but I'm sure you didn't tell them they can't make it, going in.
We set goals every game of what we want to do based on their personnel and how we're scheming of what we want what we want that game to look like. Today was 3 or fewer threes. It's pretty unrealistic to think you're going to get 0 in a 40-minute college basketball game. It's really, really hard to do. I think we did it. We do it against Michigan State, I think, last year. That's what we do, okay? And so we don't set out to be perfect at it because we know it's an imperfect game, but we set out with goals and ideas. We talk about those things, and those are focal points for our guys to worry about.
Brad, so you spoke about the big three-pointer that Draven hit. Obviously, he gave a good spark there in the second half. What was your message to him after the game?
I love you. because he works hard every day. He's the other team's best player most days. And believe me, when we have him and Sincere at the guard spots on the scout team, talk about freakishly athletic, and Buck's getting really good and working really hard. But it's very hard to do what Draven's done and keep his confidence. He is an extremely positive young man. He is an extremely hard worker. He's in there every day with Chester and TA and our coaches, working, getting his shots up. And a day like today goes a long way for my confidence in what he does. And then he guarded the ball, and he guarded it without fouling.
Brad, you mentioned maybe not having the toughness at the point of attack defensively. Who are you looking to get some more bite there?
Every one of them. We talked all night, Derek, about ball pressure, just simply ball pressure, throwing the ball into Malik. We were 3 feet off of him. And when there's a low post man, there's nowhere to drive. And yeah, we're just soft. We were just soft on the ball, and that's not good. That's not who we are. It's not what we've been. And we had I think X drove the ball baseline in front of their bench. We just stood outside the paint on the other side and didn't rotate. We haven't done that all year. And it was Terrence, and I think in that moment. But we got to rotate. And those are things that can't happen. Those are mistakes that can't happen.
You mentioned Luke's 3-point play, maybe the old-fashioned way being a highlight at the end of the year. Can he do that more, or do you see? I mean, he talked about his value as just making shots, jump shots. But where do you kind of see his approach there?
Well, Luke's got a tremendous shot fake. I mean, and we work a lot with shot fake sidestep for a 3. And yet Luke's quietly got a really good, hard to guard post game because he can fade away and shoot it, and he can shoot it off balance. His dribble drive game's not what I would call exceptional. It's probably a little better than yours. But it was the right play at the right time, and the seas parted, and he shot a layup. Thank you.